Joining us here on Main Street Sports today is Doug Feinberg, who covers women's basketball at all levels for the Associated Press, both college and pro. And Doug, wanted to reach out to you to try to get a little insight into tonight's WNBA draft. We're kind of looking at it with some interest because a player who's kind of near and dear to our hearts, despite where she played her college ball, Ryan Howard, number one or no?
Fellas, thanks for having me on, first off. And I don't think you're going to have to wait long for her to get drafted. I think number one is where she's going to go, to Atlanta. I've had some people who are smarter than I am in this business tell me, hey, she's not going to be on the draft board very long. Atlanta traded up to get the number one pick. I've heard from some insiders they think that Howard's probably the second best player of the draft from last year, this year, and next year. And that leaves Aaliyah Boston as the player is probably going to be better than her in the pros. So if you can get the next best player who's available right now out of those three drafts, you take her, and that's Ryan Howard.
Now, there was some talk earlier that Nalissa, and I lost her last name, Nalissa Smith.
Yeah.
From Baylor might be the number one. Is Ryan the number one because that's the biggest position of need for Atlanta, who traded up to get her, or do you feel like she would have been the number one regardless?
You know, it's weird because Washington, which had the number one pick, really didn't need much. They lucked into the number one pick because they had so many players hurt last year, and they have a team that's contending for championships. So whoever went there, whether it was Nalissa or Ryan, was probably not going to play much their first year, their rookie year. So it actually probably worked out better for both Nalissa and Ryan that they made that trade. So Nalissa's a great player. I'm not taking anything away from her. I think for what Atlanta needs, Ryan fits better, and they can build the franchise around her a little easier. So I think Ryan goes first, and I think Nalissa goes second to Indiana, which has 4 of the 12 picks in the first round. So they're basically going to be rebuilding their team with the first-round picks this year.